Today, we got some stories of some spoiled kids. Yes, these are all new stories. I'm recording this on October 22nd, 2025. I am back. Let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call a subscriber who submitted the first story. We're going to call him Will. So Will went to this high school, and in this high school, there was this one kid who lived at the end of the block, and we're going to call this kid Trent. So everyone else in Will's neighborhood or kind of surrounding neighborhoods, they were doing fine. It wasn't the worst neighborhood of all time. It wasn't an active war zone. It wasn't, the poorest neighborhood in the history of the planet. Everyone was doing fine. But there was one kid who was significantly richer than everyone else, and this was Trent. Ever since day one, Will and all of his friends started back in kindergarten with this kid. And since day one of kindergarten, this kid Trent made it abundantly clear who he was and what he was all about. From day one, when the parents were driving in to drop off all the kids, Will's mom's driving in a Hyundai or something, or Toyota, like a standard, normal, solid car, the type of car you'd see, the one that, you get a good bang for your buck on your miles, right? Gallon per mile, not too bad. It's going to last a while. Doesn't immediately drop at 1,000% off once you drive it off the lot. It's a good car. But all of a sudden, they're driving in, Will with his mom on his first day to kindergarten, and who comes in a black Lamborghini? Yeah, I'm not even playing with you. A black Lamborghini, a black Lambo, to drop your kid off at kindergarten? Or are you serious right now? I'm sure that Trent's parents were also notorious. It probably wasn't just Trent. It was probably also his parents, where the whole thing was just a complete mess, right? So from day one, he's always been a problem. And we're going to flash forward to senior year of high school. It was about to be Trent's 18th birthday. And Will and all of his friends were sitting at lunch, sitting at the lunch table, having whatever they were about to have. And there was a bit of a discussion going around the school, because it was a fairly small enough school that some people could be completely notorious, and notorious to everyone. Everyone knew who this Trent kid was. Everybody knew that he was exactly who he was. Don't get me wrong there, right? And there was a rumor going around the school of what was going to be the big 1-8, what was going to be the 18th birthday parties, what was going to be the 18th birthday present, not party, present. My God, my bad, guys. What was going to be the slam dunk, insane, craziest present of all time. So people were kind of making side bets of it's going to be, he's going to get an island bought for him. No, he's going to get a whole continent bought for him. No, they're going to make a deal with, the alien overlords to buy out planet Earth, or at least rent it for a couple hundred years and put it in Trent's name. What is it going to be? In all seriousness, there were some bets on some nice watches, or $10,000 cash, do whatever you wanted with, but Trent also kind of had a nearly unlimited credit card. I think it was something I think the subscriber, Will, said that there was a time where he was complaining about the limits on his credit card, and I think the limits were $10,000 or $15,000 a month. So probably if his parents gave him $10,000 in cash or something, he would say, what is this peasant change, and just set it on fire. So it probably had to be a bigger present than that. And then also in that kind of regard, most watches, especially the really, 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 really nice watches, are probably $10,000 to $15,000. So he'd probably be like, what is this peasant watch? Oh my God, a Rolex watch. It's disgusting. I can't even imagine how you look at me square in the face and truly believe that is something that you could give to me. That is disgusting, right? He's probably being a little crazy like that. So there were some bets going around. And the subscriber, heard that Trent had his own suspicions, but he was keeping his lips shut. But the only thing that Trent said was that everyone in the school was going to be aware of what his present was going to be. Everyone in the school. And, sure enough, right, it definitely did feed into the rumors of what it was going to be. most people were pretty interested. And, I really can't blame them at that point. So sure enough, right, on his 18th birthday, Trent walks into school. And he's walking in, he's looking all proud, all whatever. By the way, most kids hate him. I've talked about this before, but there's this kind of weird situation where if you are popular in high school, sometimes that means that most kids hate you. It's very weird. Like, don't get me wrong. It's very strange how high school popularity works. I'd look back and I'm like, no one liked that person. In fact, like, he or she was just known for being mean, yet they were also known for being rich. But no one really wanted to hang out with them, yet everyone wanted to. Or no one hung out with them, but everyone wanted to hang out with them. But they also all hated them. I was like, that's very strange. But, regardless, let's keep going. Sure enough, right, a few people, because, obviously Trent had his goons, right, his little henchmen that would follow him around. He had his own little squad. Because some people were so desperate to be in some kind of perceived high school social hierarchy, which is the dumbest thing ever, by the way. Please do not fall for that trap. They wanted to be perceived as the top tier, right? The cream of the crop there. So sure enough, his henchmen were like, oh my God, man, it's your birthday, happy birthday. Oh. And he's like, yes, it is my birthday. Like, can you imagine that the greatest guy ever was born 18 years ago? Truly fantastic stuff, right, guys? And they're like, yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, that's really true, dude. Like, that's amazing. That's really great. Oh. It just, like, I don't know. Sure enough, he was also going around and saying to everyone who walked by, be like, by the way, my parents said that there would be a surprise for me when I would be picked up from school. I wonder what that surprise could be. Yes. Like, just being as annoying as possible about it, because I guess, when you really don't have any friends and the only thing that the only thing you really entertain you is to be a really annoying, and just be super spoiled and just completely just drop that in everyone's face. Like, I can kind of get that. Like, what else is he going to do? I mean, you might be thinking, oh, well, he could be a good person, could be nice. Maybe, I don't know, develop some genuine friendships. I mean, you guys are crazy. You guys are insane. He can just flex on the noobs, bro. That's so much more fun. That's so much more fulfilling in life. So let's be real here. So sure enough, right, as the day was going through, most people at this point assumed it was going to be a car, because it would be a little weird for his parents. Let's say they bought him a watch to drive up to school and be like, everyone pay attention. I'm going to get my son this really expensive watch that really doesn't make any sense for some kid this age to have. You got to see it. Like, it's, at some point, it's like, yeah, this is a little dumb. The whole thing was a little dumb. I mean, they could have totally done that. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh my God, his parents are going to do something kind of stupid like that. That's crazy. That's out of picture. That's not, could have totally happened. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, so sure enough, right, most people kind of assumed it was going to be a car. And, well, spoiler, they were right. So when the end of the school day happened, Will and his friends were, kind of sitting around waiting to be picked up. But even if their parents' cars came, they'd say, hey, Mom, give me a second. I got something I'm paying attention to. Give me 5 minutes. Yeah, and sure enough, they're all kind of waiting there, sitting there, waiting for something amazing to pull in. And, well, they see a car. And let me just say that you can kind of tell it's his birthday car from miles away. Miles away. Because remember, I told you, everyone else in this neighborhood, it's a fairly normal neighborhood. Nothing too crazy. It's not like, I don't know. It's not like people are coming in a horse and carriage because that's the only thing they can afford, or they're being shot from a slingshot from their house because that's like the most cost-effective way to get in. But no one is going to pull up in a car. No one's going to pull up in a car like Trent's parents will. And they already have pulled up in the same, well, okay, they've had a black Lamborghini, then a Porsche, and then also they had one more car. Let me check my notes. They also pulled up in, okay, a brand new G-Wagon, right. So that's the rotation of cars. So when a new car comes in, this one being a white Lamborghini, very interesting, they realize that, okay, there's either one of two things. one, Trent's parents have bought a new car, which they do every couple of years to flex on the poor people, as as they would, right? Or this is going to be Trent's present. So Trent at this point can kind of tell that because he's facing away from the road, he wants to be surprised. He's facing away from the road, and you can kind of tell that everyone's attention is being magnetized to the left, right? Everyone's kind of looking that way. And there's this little, like, smile on his face of, like, oh, I get to flex on the peasants again. Like, it's that little look of, oh, my God, it's my favorite thing to do every day is to toy with, to toy with the serfs, right? To toy with those below me. It's the favorite thing I can do every single day. Totally get it. So he's got this little smile that creeps up on his face. Will's like, I'm going to be sick. Like, why am I even watching this? I mean, seriously, like, Will could be going home. Could be on his phone. Could be watching some reels or something. Could be doing something else with his life. But he is choosing to just almost feed into Trent at this point. Because giving him the attention, all Trent wants here is big, juicy scoops of Will's attention and all the other peasants and serfs to give him his attention so he can flex on the pores, as he would say. And so sure enough, right, the white Lamborghini pulls up. I think it's a Lamborghini. It might be a different type of car, but think of some really rich, expensive car, whatever. Pulls up, and Trent's mom walks out of the car, and she's like, Trent, sweetie. Oh, Trent, it's your 18th birthday. I want to give you your present now. Oh my God, sweetie, turn around whenever you're ready. I mean, your present's sitting right here. And Trent's like, oh my God, I think I already know what it is. It's the red Lambo I wanted. And his eyes are still closed. And at this point, Will's like, I might not be able to tell you what kind of car that is. It's a little bit out of my pay grade. Actually, a lot out of my pay grade. But one thing I do know is the color of that car, and it is not red. So, I think a reasonable person would turn around and see a $3 million car or something, and maybe it's the wrong color. You can kind of get that changed. I mean, first of all, who cares? It's a crazy car. If that was given to me, I'd just resell it and then use that cash and put it into, like, an index fund or a bond or something because I'm lame. But, the average person, they'd see that and be like, okay, I can swap the car out. It's not too bad. However, is Trent the average person? Before I hop into the rest of how that story concludes, and we got another spoiled kid story after that, so strap in. We got a little bit longer. Just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. And if you're watching on Spotify, make sure you follow the podcast and then rated it 5 stars. And if you're on Apple Music, do it. Do whatever you got to do on Apple Music. I don't know how that works. But regardless of where you're watching, if you made it this far into the video, I want you to comment window. It's going to be a secret word of the day. It lets me see the names and faces of people who made it this far into the video. And I'm looking at a window right now. And I know I've been gone for a little bit. I know. It's very clear to me. But I'm back. At least for now, I'm back. Look, I mean, what I do, I graduated college. I'm done with that. And I do have a business full-time with 3 employees and a co-founder. Pretty busy. But the nice thing about that is it also means that my main source of income is not YouTube. I would love to make money on here. I'd love to make more money. Don't get me wrong. Like, say less, but what I'm trying to say is that, I'm coming back. I'm kind of doing this for the love of the game, right? I know I said that many months ago, but I ended up going into the busiest season of my business that I'll probably ever have because I had to basically, me and my business partner had to do everything. And now we've hired people so we can expand, but my life is not insane. So I'm actually back, and there's less pressure to, for it to really work in a certain way. So, yeah. I think I'm going to be back for the love of the game. I don't know how consistent I'll be, but I'll try to be pretty consistent. I want to take YouTube serious again, right? I want to, one of these days I think a diamond play button would be pretty cool. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but subscribe to make that the case. By the way, make sure that if you have Instagram that you follow me. It says Connor Pugs on there. That's where I get these stories. So follow me and then message me. So hit DM, message, direct message, whatever. Your story, just give it to me in full Don't say, do you want a story? It's like, yes, I'm making story videos again. I do want a story. Just tell me the full story so I can look at it, make note of it, and then you might hear it in 2 months. You might hear it tomorrow. Who knows? But that's also where I'm very active on there as well. You guys probably know I make a lot of other social media content. There's not story times that, view-wise perform very, very well. I mean, several 100 million views a month is pretty crazy. But regardless, let's hop into the rest of the story, because quick recap, the spoiled kid, he's sitting there. He's excited, man, because he gets to do a little default dance on all the poor people again. He loves doing that every single day. That's his favorite thing to do. Don't get it twisted. It's his favorite thing to do. But when he's turned around, his mom is like, he's like, oh my God, I'm so excited for my red car, right? I'm so excited for my red Lamborghini. And this car is very clearly a white Lamborghini. So any reasonable person would probably be like, oh, okay, sure, that's cool. Yeah, whatever, man. Like, that's cool. It's a freaking Lamborghini. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, any reasonable person, catch that word closely, any reasonable person would do that. So, sure enough, Trent's mom is like, all right, sweetie, I think it's time for you to turn around and see your 18th birthday present. I'm so proud of the child that you become into a real man. So proud? Are you kidding me, buddy? Anyways, so Trent's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And he turns around and his smile just fades. You're looking at a brand new Lamborghini that was bought for you on your 18th birthday. Not a single dollar contribution to that price, to that payment on that car came from your labor, from your inventiveness, from your ability to network. None of it came from anything that spawned from a single action that you committed, right? It is truly a gift in every meaning and nuance of that word. So you should at least fake gratitude even if you don't feel it. And if you don't feel it, then you should probably fake gratitude and then go get that checked out with a therapist. Because I think your emotions and your ability to perceive the world is a little bit out of whack. Might just be me though, right? Maybe I'm the crazy one here. Maybe I'm just wrong. So, But his face drops like a rock off a cliff. Actually, it drops like a rock off a cliff on a planet with double the gravity we have here because it drops fast. And there's this kind of silence. And the thing is, Will at this point is a little confused why he's not excited, but he also picked up on the fact that his mom said, or that he said, I'm excited for my red Lamborghini. Not my white Lamborghini. But, Will was also like, that can't be the reason why he's having an issue here. That simply can't be the reason. Right? And slowly the rest of the crowd is starting to realize that this kid Trent is having an issue with this for some reason. And Trent is like, Mom, very funny. Like, it is very funny for you to joke. Right? It's very funny for you to joke with all this. Don't get it wrong. It's very funny for you to joke with me, but this is a joke, right? At this point, everyone's like, buddy, did you just say this is a joke to your mom after she bought you a Lamborghini? Are you serious right now? Anyway, so Will and his friends proceed to watch the most incredible spoiled kid meltdown that they've seen of their entire life. I mean, this is just next level. So this kid, Trent, starts to have freaking out. He is both in tears and screaming at his mom in front of everybody. In front of everybody. He is freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to actually scream. I don't want to blow up my local lungs, my vocal cords. What am I saying? My brain is just on melting mode today. And he's just like, I can't believe you did this. Tears, whatever. He was trying to say that somehow getting the wrong color Lamborghini was a betrayal. I can't even say that with a straight face. I mean, I swear to God, sometimes I get these stories and I'm like, man, I hope this is cap. I really hope this is cap, because if this is real, then we're cooked. It's over. It's over for our species. You know what? I think it's time for the next meteor. You know what? I think it's time for the floods again. And no Noah's Ark this time. Just all of us go down. When I hear these stories, man. So this kid, Trent's having an absolute spoiled rich kid meltdown. It is nuts. It is insane. And he is just absolutely freaking out. And eventually his mom's like, sweetie, I'm so sorry. And she starts playing into it. What a complete idiot. This is the biggest moron thing I've ever seen. If you're a parent, I didn't understand. Honestly, you should have your parental license taken away from you if you're this much of a numbskull, bro. Like, I can't even at this point. Like, if you're a parent and you somehow play the genius move of falling for your kid's antics, your absolute wretched child's just like delusions, if you fall for that, bro, I don't even know what to do. So at this point, like, the mom comes out. She's like, sweetie, just get in the car. We could talk through it there. He's like, Mom, I don't even, or sweetie, sorry, I forgot the accent. Sweetie, please, let's talk through it in the car or something. Like, it was just a misunderstanding. I never meant to make it hurt you or anything like that. He's like, Ma'am, I can't. Now he's Cartman, I guess. Ma'am, I can't believe this. This is the biggest betrayal I've ever seen in my life. And so eventually he gets in the car pouting. His mom is like talking to him. He's like in tears at this point. He's just flushing tears. And they drive away. And everyone there, Will and his friends and everyone else on the curb, and also some of the parents stop to watch this disaster go down. They're just sitting there like, wow, I just can't believe what I saw. Like, do my eyes deceive me? Seriously, do my eyes deceive me here? Because this is nuts. This is insane. This is actual insanity. There's no way this is true. Are you kidding me, buddy? Like, this is nuts. And everyone just kind of sat down and, like, the parents were obviously like, wow, like, they might have all the money in the world, but, the parents absolutely failed their son. And, their son's an idiot. And they really don't have anything on us. After all these years of these parents feeling this, the financial pressure of, these, it's not even just like, oh man, the people down the road, they have more money than us, but they're doing it tastefully. And that's what stings even more, because they're not rubbing it in my face. Like, no, they're doing it distastefully. This is the most distasteful flaunting of wealth I've seen in a second. It's just not great, right? So yeah, the story doesn't end much better, because Trent eventually gets that red Lamborghini after having that meltdown. Would have been much more satisfying if his parents were like, you know what, Trent, I think we're going to draw the line here. We're not going to stand for that. That would have been so much more satisfying. But unfortunately, in these situations, that is not the case.